Hello chess lovers, I have a very interesting game for you played by English comic actor and filmmaker Charlie Chaplin, who is considered one of the most important figures in the history of the film industry. Chaplin is on the white side and his opponent is a Polish chess prodigy and later a leading American chess grandmaster Samuel Reshevsky. The game was played in 1923 and at that time Reshevsky was 12 years old. Here is a photo where they are playing chess, though in the photo Reshevsky is on the white side. Let's see how this game went on. Charlie Chaplin started with e4 and e5 by Reshevsky. Knight f3, knight f6, we see the Russian game and Charlie Chaplin goes for the modern attack. The main move is knight takes e4 but black captures on d4. We see e5, knight e4, queen e2, knight c5, knight takes d4, knight c6, bishop e3, knight takes d4, bishop takes d4, knight e6, bishop c3, bishop e7, knight d2. Both players are developing their pieces, nothing special. Black castles, knight e4, d5. Now the knight on e4 is under attack, but Charlie Chaplin castles queenside, pinning this pawn on d5. But actually a better move was capturing on d6. If bishop takes d6, then castling queenside followed by capturing on d6 and creating an isolated pawn. Later white can target that pawn. Actually, after e takes d6, the best move is c takes d6, keeping alive this bishop. If castling queenside, then d5. But instead, after d5, we see castling queenside, bishop d7, getting rid of this pin, and already the knight on e4 is hanging. Knight g3, of course you can't capture on d5 because of this knight f4 fork. That's why after bishop d7 we see knight g3, and there it goes c5. Both players have castled on opposite sides and black is starting a pawn storm. Bishop d2, there it goes b5, knight f5, d4, h4, knight c7, and knight takes e7 check. Well, actually white hurried. This knight on f5 looks very active. White could play queen e4, and of course exchanging this knight with this light color bishop favors white. But later in the game we will see that this bishop can cause white a lot of problems. We see knight takes e7, queen takes e7, bishop g5, queen e6. The pawn is under attack. King b1, and there it goes, knight d5, g3, knight b4, b3, queen a6. Now black is starting to target this pawn from a file, and using this pin Charlie Chaplin played a4. Of course now black can't capture on a4 because after queen takes a6 white is winning a piece. That's why after a4 Reshevsky played queen a5, unpinning the pawn, king b2, and b takes a4. Rook a1, rook b8. Actually, instead of playing rook b8, c4 was stronger. Now you can't capture on c4 because of this rook c8, and this is going to be crushing. After rook a1, we see rook b8, king c1. Actually, it's not quite clear why is Chaplin moving away his king, and now comes a3, bishop d2, bishop e6. Bishop takes b4, c takes b4, and now black will start to use the weakness of this c file. Queen a6, offering an exchange of queens, but of course black rejects. Bishop c4, here comes rook c8, and believe it or not, but in this position Charlie Chaplin resigned. There is too much pressure on this c file. If queen d6, then bishop takes c4, queen takes c5, rook takes c5. Black is also winning this pawn on c4, and then black can double up the rooks, bring the king near, and this is an easy win for black. Black has two extra pawns, also a very active position. I hope that you enjoyed this game. Waiting for your comments and questions. Good luck.